Okay, so let's get right into it. We have pretty good day today, January 28th, my birthday. Entered a good trade today. Nice little trade there. Yeah, nice little trade there. More like an in and out type of day, and pretty happy about this one. So I'll explain today's trade, starting with the weekly. The weekly during this time, excuse me, during this time ended up being an area where price ended up being very bearish, but it also hit an area where price has a weekly buy side fair value gap. And during the time around, I believe it was 7, 8, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, it hit the consequent encroachment of the buy side fair value gap, and it started slowing down on the speed of it going down. So I figured that maybe today would be the day that price would bend the knee and actually go in the correct direction, or should I say, like, start going a different direction than just tanking. So in that case, I wanted to see some buy side, or I want to see some buy side movement for price to really make me want to get in. So went to the daily. The daily clearly was saying price was actually around this general area, and I started to just watch it the whole time. Excuse me. So around that time, price hit a inverse fair value gap, meaning that if price wanted to come down here, it would need a lot more, I guess, liquidity to push even further down past the sell side to really claim it to be more sell side movement. But since it got rejected, I wanted to see more buy side movement away from this inverse fair value gap. And lucky for us, the weekly has a buy side fair value gap where price didn't completely um, trended downward, but it did close under it and went right back in it, and it started going higher. So, with that being said, we have the inversion fair value gap and the weekly buy side fair value gap, giving me this confluence of, or giving me an idea that maybe this is the day that price can give me a good buy side movement for a trade today. So I went to the 1 minute, not the 1 minute, sorry, the 1 hour, and I wanted to see more fair value gaps in my favor. Meaning, like, is price really, I want to say, is price really moving up? I started looking at relative equal highs on the hour and seeing if it's starting to prime up. And, well, right here, you see this, that, I think this is like, what, yesterday's relative equal high, and then today's relative equal high, and it looks like it's moving up. So the only thing I see, I have a few fair value gaps. We got one right here, one, nope, yeah, that's the only one right here on the 1 hour. But I looked and seen that yesterday's first buy side fair value gap of the day, um, first available fair value gap of the day, and I seen that it rejected pretty good, meaning that if it's rejecting pretty good around market open 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, that it's eventually gonna give me a position to get in as long as I'm in sync with the market. So looking more into the 15-minute chart, the 15-minute chart is where I'm going to just basically capture price in a certain area to see what side of liquidity price is attacking the most, and I'll just base the analysis off of that. So I've seen that price came to, let's step away. Seeing that price came around here, started moving down, relative equal high. It's right here to here. It's actually priming down. So let it come up there. It didn't really go any farther up. So it looked like it failed this fair value gap and inverse to this fair value gap, but mainly failed this one, and it started going back down even further. So I watched it some more during this time. I looked at news and I seen that I already missed the 8:30. It was around, I want to say like 8:50 or 8:45 when I started looking at the charts. So I knew that there was 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and I wanted to just watch it until it was close to market open. And I went to the 1 minute. Went to the 1 minute and scroll over there. There we go. And this is what I seen here. I seen a buy side fair value gap right here and a relative equal high. I see a relative equal high right here, and it's also priming down. So I wanted to see price kind of exhaust itself going any further before I wanted to actually see and test out how strong price will be with the 9 o'clock, 9:30 market open, and 10 o'clock impact. So I waited this whole time for 9:30 through a little bit of 9:55. Seen an opportunity by rejection of the inverse fair value gap on the, I believe it was the hour, and I see that price also came to yesterday's first available fair value gap, and it also did reject too. It didn't really like blow it out the water, but it just barely got out and then popped right back in. So I wanted it to target the nearest buy side liquidity that I can that I have on my chart. So I wanted to really target relative equal highs on the 15 minute, and those are my main targets. Now, if I knew that it was going to be a more like of a good, well, I guess it just depends how the day strikes you. If you're going to really hold to a trade or if you're just going to be in and out. But in this case, I ended up just wanting to stick with a short trade today. I got lots of things that I wanted to do on my birthday, but price did end up coming back, retesting and failing to come down to today's first available fair value gap, and that could have been another entry right there. Led up to target 1, target 2, target 3, and then the consequent encroachment of this new week opening gap. But overall, this trade was pretty good. I was very patient. I was very happy. I felt free. I felt pretty relaxed, and it was more easier psychologically and mentally to just know that I am in sync, and I never doubted myself that even if the trade goes against me, I still stuck to what I know and what works. So I know this strategy works, and that's all I have to say, really. It's just to stay true to the process and just keep going and doing the same thing and keep learning and keep grinding. So, yeah, that's all I got for you guys.